Hi, everybody. So, Life Lesson Friday for July 5th, 2024 is about listening and being careful who you listen to, because there's a lot of people out there who have an opinion on what you should do with your life. Um, and in reality, nobody's opinion matters but yours. And, if you're married, your spouse, um, if you have a marriage where you talk and communicate and want to do what's best for each other, which I think is a good thing. But still doing what you feel is what's best for you. You want to listen to people. You want to get advice, obviously, because there are people that have gone through things that you're going to face. There are people that have been successful at plans that you want to try and achieve. And so listening to them for advice is great, but be careful who you listen to when it comes to letting them take ownership of your life, and letting them direct you completely on where you're supposed to go. And I had this happen to me multiple times. I've had the idea. I had to create my business. I had right out of college, and I talked to some people, and they convinced me that it was a horrible idea because I wasn't ready in their mind. And whether I was or wasn't, I put it on the back burner until God finally said, about 8 years ago, God finally said, "No, you're going to do this now." And so I did. And I was just looking at like financial numbers, and finishing up the month of June, calculating everything and looking at the numbers and realizing that I'm still not, from a financial standpoint, bringing home the same amount of money that I was in 2007. And that's multiple jobs back. And you might go, "Oh God, why would you still do that?" Well, because this is what God wants me to do. And He's provided for our family. We're stable. We're by no means where we want to be, but we have enough, and He's providing that, and He's continuing to grow what I've got. And so it's like, if I listened to other people, then I'd be looking for a job, and I would have been looking for a job a while ago, because they would have said, "Dude, you're not making any money. Dude, how can you afford to do this? How can you put your family through this? How can you live a life?" And I see, I think we've all seen these things recently, these publications about how much money it takes to live nowadays, which, by the way, they're completely inflated, because we don't make anywhere near that as a couple, much less as four people, and we're living comfortably. So, it's all in a matter of how you live your life, who you listen to, what you think are priorities, and living within your means, and not living up to what other people say you should have or you should do. Or we don't all need the latest greatest. If you're happy with what you have, you're happy with what God has provided for you, and you use it well, He will provide more. And I have seen that in my life. I've seen that in my business. I've seen that in, before I started my business, I saw it in my life. My wife has seen it in her life. My kids see it in their lives. When you're faithful with what He provides you, He will provide you more. And then it's just a matter of continuing to be faithful, continuing to do the proper things, continuing to live the life that He wants you to live, not the life that other people think you should be living. Because believe me, there's a lot of people that, if they knew how much I made, would be screaming at me to get a job somewhere else, like to leave this behind. But that's not what is important. What's important is God has put me in this place to do the work that He wants me to do, to help the people that I'm helping. And it's growing, and it's building, and it's been 8 years, and it's phenomenal. and I'm happier than I've ever been, right? And so you have to be careful who you listen to, because if you listen to the wrong people, if you listen to the wrong, influencers, the wrong news media, there's a lot of things out there that can make you feel horrible about where you are. They can make you feel horrible about your life. They can make you feel just miserable that the world is falling apart. There's a lot of things out there. And as I've said before, you can only control what you can control. And so sticking to, hey, this is what God has told me to do with my life. I can control my part of my life. I can expand that and make ripples into other people's lives. But, there's probably nothing. I'm 50. There's probably nothing in my entire life in the next 50 years, however much longer I live, which statistically I'm statistically looking to live to 100. So in the next 50 years, it's highly unlikely that I'm going to do something that's going to make a worldwide impact. Statistically, it's very low chances. And I'm okay with that. Right? I'm okay with that. I don't have to. I want to make an impact in who God says this is who to make an impact in. And so hopefully I'm making an impact in your life if you're seeing this. And, that's my goal. And, I know there's people out there that are like, why do you keep posting when you only get, so many views and you don't get this, nothing goes viral and you don't get all this stuff. And I'm like, because if it helps one person, it's all that matters to me. If it helps one person, that's all that matters. And, that's because I don't listen to all that stuff out there. There's no reason to listen to all that junk, because all that junk is going to make you feel bad about your life. It's going to make you feel like you're not successful. It's going to make you feel like you're struggling behind so many other people and you're never going to get ahead. And that's all BS. It is, because you can do what you can do if you put your faith in God, you believe and trust in Him, and He shows you the path, and you just do what He says to do. You're going to be successful. In His eyes, you're going to be successful, and that's what matters. Doesn't matter what the world says. So, just be careful who you listen to, because there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of noise out there that's not helping you in any way, shape, or form. And the more you focus on it, the more you get frustrated about it, the more you try to appease the people that are telling you all those things, instead of doing what you feel is right for you. As long as it's legal, of course. Then, you're going to struggle. And it's going to be rough. You're going to struggle emotionally. You may not struggle financially. You may be successful financially. But there's a lot of people that are successful financially and don't like their life. There's a lot of people. So be careful who you listen to. That's your Life Lesson Friday for today.